Imagine your team is launching a new application. You've broken it into microservices, an auth service, a payment service, an inventory service, and thousands of users are starting to hit your system. You need a single entry point at the front door, and that entry point has to do 3 jobs. Authenticate your users, stop a malicious bot from spamming your endpoints, and route each request to the right service behind it. So, as the system architect, which one do you place at the door? A load balancer, B, a reverse proxy, or C, an API gateway? Take a second, make your choice. If you're not sure, or you think any of them could work, you're not alone. We'll reveal the exact right answer at the end. But to really understand why, let's take a trip to a massive, chaotic restaurant. Think of your backend, servers as the chefs in a busy restaurant kitchen. And the incoming requests, those are the hungry customers walking through the front door. Every customer wants something from the kitchen. Now, if hundreds of customers rush in all at once and swarm straight toward the chefs, the kitchen collapses. Nobody's coordinating, orders pile up, and everything grinds to a halt. Something has to stand at that door. So the restaurant hires a host. The host stands at the door and takes control of who goes where. Their whole job is to distribute the guests evenly across the dining room, so no single waiter, no single table ever gets slammed. Traffic spreads smoothly, one guest to each open spot. That host, spreading the crowd evenly so nothing gets overwhelmed, in system design, that is your load balancer. It takes a flood of requests and shares them across your servers. But notice something else the host is doing. The customers never walk past them, they talk to the host and only the host. They never reach the kitchen directly. Behind the host is a wall. Customers can't wander into the kitchen, can't bother the chefs, can't even see how it's laid out, the entire inside is hidden. In tech, that shielding is your reverse proxy. It masks your backend, so the outside world never learns your server's real addresses. And it can serve cached items straight from the front without disturbing the chefs at all. So the host distributes the load, the wall hides the kitchen. Same front door, 2 different jobs, that wall is the reverse proxy. Now the restaurant evolves into a massive food complex. Customers aren't just here to eat. Some are VIPs who need security checks. Some are delivery drivers hammering the counter. And some are just bots trying to order 50 meals at once. A simple host at the door isn't enough anymore, so you bring in a grand concierge, one smart desk with a tablet. First, the concierge checks IDs at the door. No valid ID, no entry. In tech, that's authentication, verifying the token on every request. Second, when someone tries to order 50 meals at once, the concierge blocks them. That's rate limiting, or throttling, stopping any one client from overwhelming the system. And third, the concierge points each person to the exact right place: the VIP lounge, the takeout counter, the billing booth. That's routing, sending each request to the specific microservice that should handle it. One desk, checking IDs, blocking abuse, and directing traffic. This ultimate manager at the edge of everything is your API gateway. Now let's strip away the restaurant and look at the actual engineering blueprint. Requests come in from the client. First, they may hit a load balancer, sitting at layer 4 or layer 7, doing one thing well, shifting the raw weight of traffic evenly across your servers. Behind it, a reverse proxy sits at layer 7. It masks your backend IP addresses from the public internet and caches static content, so repeat requests never even touch your servers. And the API gateway is the one that's fully application-aware. It doesn't just move traffic. It actively inspects the request tokens, enforces rate limits, and orchestrates calls across your microservices. It understands what's inside the request, not just where it's going. And behind all of that sit your actual services: auth, payment, inventory, each one reached only through that smart front door. Line them up side by side. Distributing traffic, that's the load balancer's core job, and the gateway can do it too. Hiding the backend and caching, that's the reverse proxy's specialty, and again the gateway covers it. But now watch where they diverge. Authentication with tokens? A plain load balancer doesn't do it. A reverse proxy can be bolted into doing a bit of it. The API gateway is built for it. Rate limiting and throttling? Same story, not the load balancer's job. Awkward on a reverse proxy, but native to the gateway. And orchestrating across microservices, that's the gateway alone. Neither the load balancer nor the reverse proxy was designed for it. Checkmark means it's built for that job. Tilde means you can bolt it on with effort. Cross means it's just not what that tool is for. Look at that last column. The gateway is the only one that's a full checkmark all the way down. So let's go back to our opening question. You've got microservices, you need token authentication, and you need rate limiting. Which one do you put at the front door? The correct answer is C, the API gateway. A load balancer only spreads traffic. A reverse proxy only does basic routing and shielding. Neither was built for authentication and throttling. The gateway was, while a reverse proxy like Nginx can be configured to do simple routing. An API gateway, like Kong or AWS API gateway, is purpose-built to handle complex corporate logic like authentication and throttling right at the edge of your microservices. If you chose C, great job. If you chose something else, now you know exactly why the distinction matters. So, did you pick C at the very start, or did you pick something else? Drop your first guess in the comments. I'm genuinely curious how many of you nailed it. And remember the picture. Host equals load balancer. Wall equals reverse proxy. Concierge equals API gateway. If this finally made the distinction click for you, hit like and subscribe for more system design deep dives. And I'll see you at the next front door.